Welcome everybody to today's webinar, how to get more listings at higher commissions. To get the most from today's webinar, we want you to take really good notes, and we want you to use that Q&A panel there to ask any questions you might have. Don't stress if we don't take your question right away. We are going to be taking those at the end of today's session. So if you don't have to bounce at the top of the hour, stick with us. We're going to answer questions and do some coaching. If you want to reach us at any time after today's session, you can reach us on all social media channels at Darryl Speaks. Darryl's the author of 3 books, all published by McGraw-Hill Publishers. That first one you see there, How to Become a Power Agent in Real Estate, is actually one of the best-selling books to real estate agents on Amazon.
Aren't I the bomb?
You are the bomb. Darryl was also named by Risk Media Magazine as one of the top real estate influencers of 2022. This is the 3rd year running, so very exciting. Darryl is also the recipient of the coveted CSP designation, which is only given to less than 2% of speakers worldwide. On that note, Darryl, I know you have a lot to share today, so take it away.
I do. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We're so excited that you're here. So a couple of more pieces that I want to address before we get into the specific topic with this one question, which is this webinar a sales pitch? There was a lot of new people to this webinar, so let me address that question. No, it's not. I know what it feels like when some of these webinars you go to, and it turns out to be more of an infomercial. So that's not the case here. This is actually part of a weekly training that we do for our power agents. And actually, I do want to pause just for a minute to explain that up front, so that way you guys will understand we're all on the same page. There's 2 groups of people on this call. There's the people who are our power agents, who are in our coaching program, our membership, and then there's the group that we call our guests. So we're really glad that the guests are here with us, and you are going to learn a tremendous amount. But from time to time, guests, I will be talking perhaps to the power agents, like having a sidebar conversation to point out something that's part of their membership from what I'm teaching. So I just want you to be aware of that. I will take 30 seconds just to now answer that question, like what is a power agent for the guests? And then we're going to get into the topic. The monthly program is membership is right now, people are locking in, joining at $47. It's actually valued much higher than that. But if you're a guest, if you've never been a power agent, you actually have this huge gift today at this webinar where you can try it for just $5 and you have complete access to the entire program. You can cancel anytime. But I will tell you, I know we just met, but if you are my friend, I would tell you the bonuses, if for nothing else, it's worth the $5 to just get the bonuses because they're so valuable. And how that works is everything you see on the screen is if you decide later to become a power agent on this call, you'll get everything that you see on the screen emailed to you directly. Power agents have access to this in the membership, but we package this like little starter kit, if you will, to get a flavor and a taste of what it means to be a power agent. We send it to the new power agents right away. Okay, with that said, so now let's get into this topic. A couple of more things just to set the tone for the topic of how to get more listings at higher commissions. There's some sessions that we do on these weekly sessions that go wide. And then there's some like if we're doing an appointment on the 6 best ways to generate listing leads. That's one of the sessions that we just did recently. That session went wide because we were teaching a little bit of these 6 ideas. Some topics go deep, like on a specific thing. Like if I took one of those 6 strategies on how to generate listing leads and just focus on that, it would be going deep. This particular session is going deep. It's just on commission and how to address that. I do want to say something about, for people who like to be up to date on legalized stuff and they're very protective of not breaking laws and stuff. I just want to, because whenever you talk about commissions, I'm like, oh, you can't use numbers and stuff. So let me just tell you, you can. Okay, so this webinar is not. We are not collectively getting together with a commitment to boycott or to come up with a industry average. That would be against antitrust. This is me training you. So I may be using some examples. I may say 5, I may say 7, I may say 2%. So don't anybody get twisted by that. Now, with that said, I want you to keep something in mind. And I used a low number just to appeal to everybody, depending on where you are in the United States. Like some of you, your average sales price is maybe, it's 500,000 if you're on Long Island, or $1 million in San Diego, whatever. So I'm just going to use a really low number. If you look at, if your average sales price was $200,000 in your market and you just improved your commission by 0.5%, that's $10,000 for every 0.5% on 10 sales in a year. So this is why we talk about giving yourself a raise. That if we can help you get listings, not lose listings, and just bump it up by 0.5%, that's huge, right? Now, one other thing I threw this in last minute, this about the membership. And the reason why I threw this in last minute is because I heard recently we had the mid-year conference in DC for NAR. And some people came back, and some of you may have seen this on social media and talking about that the membership has come down at NAR. And I want to show you something very interesting because it hasn't. So I don't know what created that buzz. It's one of those things that somebody said something and then all of a sudden it becomes, what is that term? Fake news, right? So let me just show you what's happened with the NAR membership. In March of this year, right? So just a couple of months ago, our current membership was 1.5 million, right? Well, 30 days later, so just a few weeks ago, the membership was 1.547, blah, blah, blah. In other words, in that 30-day cycle, we did not lose members. We actually increased the membership by 16,000. If we look at the end of April, and what the end of April was last year, so we're talking about 12 months ago, we went from 1.4 to 1.5. We went up 63,000 in members in the past year. Now, here's my point. When you have a hot seller's market like we've had, where homeowners think, I don't need an agent, I can sell it myself and save the commission, and you have more agents coming into the industry because of other industries still suffered from the pandemic, so our membership's been growing, that means more competition for you across the board. Point being is, if there was any time for you to get skilled at the listing and selling of real estate and how to communicate on a listing appointment and how to validate yourself, now it's more important in your business. If you want to succeed this year, you really got to focus. Because listen, I don't have let me just talk to you for a second. I don't have an hour with you unless you're a power agent. So if I never see you again, the guest, I want you to get this message that you need to really improve your skill and ability this year. You need to really, we ain't talking about you need to spend more money on social media, more marketing. No, man. You need to get good at learning what to say, when to say, and how to say when you're belly to belly, face to face with the buyer or seller, because that's where the rubber meets the road. You show me an agent who does all social media and they got a website and they're spending all this money on marketing, but they don't know how to handle a commission objection. They don't know how to validate, use metaphors and analogies to communicate their MLS, the tool of MLS, and how they use it, and how they use open house and all that. They don't know how to talk and use the words. I'll show you somebody who's broke in real estate because they're spending money on advertising, but they don't know how to actually bring that lead to an actual closing table. So with that said, let me give you some of the concepts of commission, and then I'm going to give you a specific dialogue to help you with the commission. We got a lot to cover in our short time together. First of all, one of the things you want to do is make sure that you're good at bringing those leads to you. And you don't have to spend a lot of money, but you've got to have a plethora of leads. Here's why. If you're going on one listing appointment a week, for example, you're going to have a sense of desperation about you. Homeowners can smell when you are struggling, worried, or afraid. If they can sense that about you, that's going to hurt your effectiveness to validate your commission. So how you handle, how you put to rest that air of desperation, worry, or concern about your own financial well-being is you've got to have more business than you can possibly handle. Keep generating a lot of appointments. I want to talk to the power agents just for a second. Power agents, if you go to the webinar on demand section of the website of your membership there, you go webinars on demand, you're going to see all of these weekly trainings that we've done every week for the last 2 years. And there's one I want to focus on right there. It says your 12-month calendar to success. Actually, there's a couple. There's the 12-month marketing calendar. There was how to generate leads and consistent listing appointments. And there was the one done most recently, how to own your farm area, and the 6 ways, which I just referenced a moment ago, on how to generate new listing in low inventory. So power agents, there is, each one of those was an hour. There's 4 hours of training on how to fill your calendar with listing appointments. So make sure that you watch that. Here's something else to do. Is for everybody, the guest as well. You can take, power agents, we have this for you. But guess one of the things I suggest you do is write down an activity on how you can generate listing appointments in one column. You'll see it on the screen right there. So on one side, you've got all the different activities. And then along the top, you have the days of the week. Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And the game is that every day when you start your day, you look at your power activity chart and you say, what's at least 1 or 2 or 3 things that I can do to shake the trees to generate some listing appointments? The other thing I want to say is, as you're doing this, make sure, and I know we have some of our friends from Jersey that were in my session yesterday, the live session. I want to just say, remember this, is you've got to think of farming and marketing and real estate and prospecting like a farmer. A farmer doesn't panic when they plant seeds today and they don't have a crop tomorrow. They understand it's a process. They understand it takes time. They understand that they've got to do their part, and that God's got to do his part. The universe has got to do its part with the sun and the weather to support it. Eventually, as long as you're doing the right activities, you will produce a crop of leads in your business. So if wherever you are right now as an agent in your business, if you're frustrated at all when it comes to filling your calendar with listing appointments, let me tell you, they're there. I know this market is tougher than what we've seen in years before. But I'm telling you, there's plenty of, you look at there's sales happening. You can't have sales if there isn't sellers. It's happening. You just got to go out and get it, and you've got to be patient with yourself. Here's the second thing I want to share with you, and that is the most commission objections. Most commission objections happen because the listing appointment was not strong. Now, hear me on this, gang. Please hear me on this. And see, we're not going deep on what I'm about to share. This is an overview. The list, when you talk about commission, okay. First of all, you never talk commission on the telephone if you're talking to a homeowner. Never. If they ask you, you need to bob and weave. You say, Mr. Mazzano, the commission that we use is actually a marketing tool as well. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on when you want to sell by. What do you feel that you need to net? Based on all that, then we together decide what's the best commission, because part of that commission is being paid out also to the MLS. So we use it as a marketing tool. But I think we're ahead of ourselves, Mr. and Mrs. Hanna. First, I just call in to see if I can see your house and see how I can help you. If you decide you want to consider hiring me, then we can talk about what I charge. But let me just come see your house and see what you have and see how I can help you. So in other words, gang, you bob and weave. You never address commission on the telephone. That's number one. Number two is when you go to the listing appointment, you never address it up front. Why? Listen to this. Because you must establish value before you talk commission. You must establish value before you talk what it costs, what the fee is. That's true about everything. No matter what somebody's selling, cars, furniture, clothes, there's got to be the value. They've got to perceive the value before you hit them with the price. If you hit them with the price before you've established value, it's going to be too much. It's always too much, you see. All right. So let's talk broadly about the listing appointment. So if you were to so here's what we teach for power agents. The listing appointment, first of all, you got to be authentic. You got to be real. You can't use memorized scripts. You got to talk from your heart, not your head. There's a way to do a structured conversation that makes you sound powerful without memorized scripts. Because the problem with memorized scripts is those are not your words or somebody else's. And then you'll come across inauthentic. So you want to become real. You want to be real with a homeowner. So the R stands for rapport. The first thing is they got to like you. They got to trust you. Listen, let me talk to the new agents for a second, because some of you new agents, you're a little insecure because you're competing against other agents who've been doing real estate for a while, and maybe there's some top agents in your market. So you're like how are you going to succeed when you're up against top agents? So agents who are on a team and yada, yada. Listen, let me tell you something. There is one of our power agents. Let me tell you about Kathy Rain. Kathy Rain is the #1 agent for all of Keller Williams, the whole Keller Williams system, and the whole state of Florida. That's pretty good. She's a power agent. Kathy, she lost a listing to a new agent. So the #1 agent, the whole state of Florida, she lost a listing to a new agent. You want to know why? Because, not that they don't like Kathy, but anybody who knows Kathy, she's a wonderful person. It just so happens that perhaps the homeowner connected a little bit more with that new agent. Real estate's a people business, gang. If you're a nice person, if you're a likable person, you can get business. But you got to put yourself out there. Don't be a secret agent. Get out there. Let people know your name, face, and what you do for a living. So my point here is this R, rapport. That's it, 50% of the appointment right there. If they like you and they trust you, you are halfway home. I don't care how much experience you have or don't have, or how many sales you had or didn't have, or whether you work the market, yada, yada. That's 50%. Now, after you build that rapport, you engage them. How do you engage them in a conversation? You ask questions. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should communicate in that proportion. Listen twice the amount of speaking that you do. This is where you're asking questions also to find out what they're committed to, because what we do is we don't just sell houses. We help people get to the next level. We need to know what their next level is in order for us to give them the best coaching, which is actually the next part, which you're going to give them advice. This is when you're going to talk about what you do to help sellers get to their next level. You're going to talk about MLS, yard sign, lockbox, how your company is powerful and different, and how they can use the tools that your company has to help them get to their next level. This is where we justify the value that you are. And when you have established value of who you are and who your company is, then you talk about commission, not before. See, commission is not in step 1, not in step 2. It's at the end of step 3. And when you've done that, then you list and leave. That's the overview of the listing appointment. Now, power agents, I want to shout out to the power agents that we have one of the trainings that it goes through every one of those steps: rapport, engage. So it's a whole hour just on the listing appointment. I'm going to cover some of the listing appointment because I have to address the commission conversation, right? When you are talking to a homeowner about listing with you or about listing with your company, you first, what I'm going to encourage you to do is don't validate you or try and sell you. See, most homeowners, let me tell you why most homeowners don't want to pay us a lot. Is because they don't see the value in us. They don't see value in Realtor. Come on now, listen to what I'm saying. You know what homeowners think about us? They think that, first of all, how we got our license is we filled out some kind of application at the county clerk's office with a receptionist there, and we paid a check, and here you're licensed now. They don't know how many hours that you had to go through to even get approval to take the license exam. And by the way, some of you, whenever I do a live audience, say, how many hours does it take to get licensed in your state? I kid you not. Almost always, the agents look at me. I don't know. I forgot. By the way, you should know the answer. How many hours does it take to get licensed in your state? You should know that. And the reason why, so that way you can tell a homeowner how many hours it takes to even get permission to take the test. And even after that, it ain't guaranteed. You know what homeowners think we do? You know, we take buyers in a car, we show them some properties, and we blow up balloons. That's what we do. And for that, we ask for $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 in commission. Listen to what I'm saying. If a civilian, that's what I call them, if a civilian thinks that all you do is chauffeur buyers in a car and blow up balloons for an open house. Is that worth $30,000 in commission? Hell no. But that's what they think. So what I'm telling you over here is crucial, that what you need to do before you talk, you need to tell a homeowner the power of Realtor. We've been around for over 100 years. 100 years. No, not almost 100 years. Sorry. The first board of realtors was called the Real Estate Board of Brokerages or something like that. I forget it. It just escaped me. I have a slide for it. 1929 was the first convention of back then what was Realtor. 1929. We've been around a long time is my point. What we need to convey is someone wouldn't be around that long unless we provided some value. Let me give you for instance here. To sell something, to sell anything, whether it's a house car, this is marketing 101. To get the highest price on something is you got to bring quality buyers, not lookers, not discount coupon cutters, shoppers, but buyers. People are ready, willing, and able to buy now. They've been pre-qualified. They have good FICO, like they're ready to buy. In order to do that, you got to expose a product to the buyers. They need to know it's for sale, and how you do that is marketing tools. See, what we do as realtors, part of what we do is we have a whole bunch of marketing tools, which gives a homeowner exposure, which helps get more buyers, quality buyers into the property, which drives the price. See, a for sale by owner, when they're selling their house, when you think about what they have at their exposure, they have some limited internet exposure, yard signs, some advertising, but what we bring to the table is so much more. This is why we've been around for almost 100 years. This is why over 90% of all homes are actually sold through the real estate industry. See, thinking of it another way, you tell a homeowner, listen, consider finding a buyer like fishing, catching a fish. Mr. Miss Hunter, when you go to sell your house and you're trying to do it yourself, you put an ad online, that's like a fishing line out into the water trying to catch the fish. You put a for sale sign on your front lawn that you got over at Home Depot. That's another fishing line. So that what you're doing is you're casting out fishing lines trying to catch, a fish, a buyer. And maybe you get some nibbles, Maybe you get one or two. But here's how we work as realtors. We don't use fishing lines. With the amount of marketing that we have, I want you to imagine a fishing trawler going out, throwing a big net out into the ocean. We don't catch a couple of fish, loads and loads, baskets of fish. Now what happens, because you've got all of these fish on board, you can be more selective. You can look for the best quality fish before you make the decision to commit. By the way, listen, let me say something that's not part of my slides. It's something I've been saying lately. So that's why I don't have this as a slide. It just came to me. I want to share it with you. Is that actually, you know what? I'm going to save it for later. Hang on a second. Stay there. We're going to do this. So the fishing trawler going out, bringing all these fish on board. You see, we do a lot more that helps you drive the price. Here's something else too, Mr. and Miss Honey. Think about this. If you were sick, who would you call? Now, some of my power agents, you've heard me do this because it's one of my favorites, but I want you to listen to the nuances and see if you're doing it as well as you can be doing it. If you think about it, you're talking to a homeowner, Mr. and Mrs. Hanan, if you were sick, you probably would call a doctor. And when if somebody, God forbid, was going to sue you, you'd probably go find a lawyer. And when it comes time to doing taxes, you might consider having an accountant if your finances are complicated enough where you want to have a professional do it. And of course, then you have your house, one of your most important assets is selling a house. You might hire a realtor. And I understand you want to do this on your own, but I want to help distinguish something very important, Mr. and Mrs. Hanahana. Everybody on that screen right now, they all have two things in common. Number one is every one of those areas, you can do it yourself. If you're not feeling well, you can certainly you can diagnose and medicate yourself. You can actually go to court and represent yourself. You don't have to hire an attorney. And of course, you don't have to hire an accountant to do your taxes, or hire a realtor. So one thing they all have in common is you can do any of those yourself. The second thing they also have in common is that any one of them must be licensed to help other people do it. Otherwise, they're committing a crime. Not a mistake, a crime. It's against the law to help other people sell a house without a real estate license, or to pretend to be a lawyer, etc., etc. My point here, Mr. and Mrs. Hanahana, there must be more to selling a house than just throwing a fishing line out to a lake to try and catch a buyer. You see, you've got to hire a professional. Here's something else too. I love this. This is one of our things that we created to help show a homeowner the concept about that it takes so many hours to even get licensed, because real estate is more than just blowing up balloons or showing property. It's like this. Wait a second. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Is if you look at selling a house like Monopoly Board. Oh, I remember. Wait a second. Stop. I'm sorry. I interrupt myself. I just remember what I wanted to share with you. Is that when a homeowner, one of the things we need to convey to a homeowner about selling on their own, the problem with selling on their own and going to contract, one of the things that we make sure buyers are pre-qualified, and we could do a lot of work on that, right? I mean, we're not looking just for pre-commitment. Now we're starting to look for buyers who've actually gone in underwriting at a lender, because a lot of the lenders, in case you don't know this, they're starting to offer this. Not just sign a pre-commitment letter for a buyer, they're actually taking a mortgage application and actually running the buyer through underwriting to get them all ready to go and close as soon as they find a house. That's powerful. Does a FSBO have that done? No. If a FSBO sold their own home, they're going to have the buyer go into underwriting before they go to contract. You know what most homeowners don't realize? Here was the epiphany I had. When a homeowner goes to contract with the buyer as a FSBO, that FSBO is the one that's locked up in a contract, not the buyer. See, the buyer has a lot of holes, a lot of back doors, a lot of escape hatches. There's a lot of opportunity in a contract for a buyer to get out of the contract and get their money back. So when a homeowner signs a contract as a FSBO with their own buyer, they're locking themselves up to the benefit of the buyer. That doesn't make any sense. When you try and save a nickel, sometimes you lose a dime. This is what we have to convey to a homeowner. Going back to this over here, the sellopoly. The sellopoly shows there's more to the process of real estate than just finding a buyer. What we do in real estate as licensed professionals is there's so much more, as far as if we just look at it, there's the prepping, the staging, the photos, verifying the information, launching the listing, showing it, negotiating, qualifying, get the offer accepted. Then we got to deal with the inspections, the sale, the bank appraisal, mortgage come in, you got the point here again. Power agents, let me talk to the power agents for a second. Power agents, there is one of the sessions we did on how to feel crazy confident on every listing appointment. We did that in March, so make sure you look that out, because that will go through the whole listing appointment from start to finish, the moment you ring the doorbell till they sign the listing. All right, let's continue. There's always going to be somebody who's going to charge you less than you, so just be prepared. There's always going to be some kind of help you to sell, discount broker, There'll be new companies. They come, they go. Don't worry about it. What they do, that has nothing to do with you. You just don't worry about it. Number two here, when the issue is 1%, you really need to prove why you're 1% better. So if you've got a homeowner who said, I'm using it as an example. If let's say the homeowner says, BS Realty, Bob Smith, he's going to charge just like 2%. First of all, you got to get clear. There's a commercial on television, by the way, where they're saying you only have to pay 2%. It's not true. It's maybe 2%. If you call and find out, it's a 2% on the listing side, but then you got to pay out another commission on the MLS. So when you add it all up, you're looking 4, 5, 6%. It's not 2%. It's false advertising. It's actually true if it's listed just with them and they sell it themselves. That's different. Anyway. If a homeowner says BS Realty is going to charge 3%, Darryl, and you're saying you're 4, you're 5, you just have to validate not your full commission, just the difference is my point. Why are you 1% or 2% better than that other person? That's where the conversation should be. There is no law. There is no law that says you have to negotiate in 1% increments. Sometimes you'll be with a homeowner who just feels like they got to win, So if you're at whatever number, you're at 6, they say 5, and yeah, maybe do 5.5, 5.25. Just give them a little something, so they feel like they won. Sometimes you have to do that with certain people. Next thing I want to share with you here is attract sell is not based on the cost, but based on the benefits, your value. Okay. So I really I've said that a couple of times today. Never address commission on the telephone. We talked about that. Here's the next thing is use stories, metaphors, analogies. Well, you're going to see me when I start giving you some of the dialogue, you're going to see me using stories, metaphors, analogies, and how powerful that is. You have to believe whatever a seller can sell for is less than what you can sell it for, and that you have to believe you're worth what you charge. So keeping that in mind, number one is you got to believe that a seller sells less as a FSBO, and I'm going to give you some validation. The second thing is you've got to believe you're worth what you charge. I recommend you do what we gave our power guests. If you sat down and wrote out, we created this 184 things that we do to earn our commission as a marketing guide. And when we created this, I was like, boy, this is really powerful stuff, because as we were creating, reading through it and editing it, I'm like, man, if an agent just read the 184 things, we created it to give it to a homeowner. But if you read it before you go into a listing appointment, you'll have more confidence. So, which by the way, shout out to the guests. Yes, if you decide for $5 to do the trial at the end of this webinar, you're going to actually get you a copy of that. It's going to be emailed to you right away. And you can customize it, put your contact information in, your photo, etc. All right. Why cannot a seller save money selling on their own? Let's cover those really quick. First of all, the types of buyers that a FSBO attracts is not the same type of buyer. If you think about if you were going to go to, you wanted to buy a couch for your home, you can do it one of two ways. You can go to a nice furniture store like Ethan Allen. Now, if you were to go to Ethan Allen, you know you're going to pay top dollar. You know it's a company you can trust, though. You know that it's great quality. You get what you pay for. Anybody that walks into Ethan Allen, they know they're getting good quality from a company they can trust, and they're paying for it. Why would anybody buy a used, dirty, stinky couch from eBay? I mean, think about it. You don't know if you can trust the sellers. The couch is used. You don't know what it was used for. I mean, that's gross. Why would anybody buy a used, dirty, stinky couch from eBay? To save money. And what you say to a homeowner is this: Mr. and Mrs. Hanna, any buyer that walks into my office, they know they're paying top dollar. They know that we're like the TSA of real estate, that we're going to drill them on their qualifications, their income levels, their debts. The buyers know we're going to get intimate with their financial status before they commit to any house. Buyers coming to us know that. They also know, buyers who go to a FSBO know that they won't be checked that way. But the types of buyers that come into my office, they are committed to buying a house from a company they can trust. In other words, we attract Ethan Allen buyers of real estate, not the eBay buyers. Here's something else we discovered during this time where actually used car dealerships were calling past customers saying, do you want to sell us your car so we can sell it? Because they know they could flip a car for a profit. If you go to Kelley Blue Book and you were to price out your own car, you would find that, and I did this on my car at the time, that at the time when I did this, my Denali was, if I bought it from a dealership used, it was $40,000. 40 to 45. But if I bought it from a private person, it would be 38 to 43. That's a 5% difference. It no matter what somebody's buying, when they buy it from an individual versus a company, they're going to get a better deal. There's a concept called risk and reward. When you buy privately, there's more risk for the buyer. So the compensation for the risk is they get a better price. When you buy from a company, you feel more confident and you pay for that. They don't get the same buyers we do. So number one concept is understand FSBO buyers want to bargain. They want to pay less. They don't want to go through. That's why they're not going through an agent. And that's who they attract. Number two, it's published proof FSBOs don't save money. It's published proof that the FSBO will actually lose money. Let me give you some examples. USA Today. I love this article. I've been teaching it forever. 2003. Darryl, why the heck would you teach something from 2003? Here's why. Because they ran the article then. The article said, for sale by owners can be a hard sell. Look at the subtitle of that. Agents are often worth their weight in commission. Come on. That's a great headline from USA Today. And that article came out in a hot sellers market, which is the type of market we have. So even though it was 2003, it's the same market. And so here's what they found. I'm gonna zoom in on this graph. Do you see that little graph there? I'm gonna zoom in on it. They discovered that the for sale by owners who sold at that time in the areas that they looked, the average sales price was 137,400, but the homes that sold with a realtor, the average sales price was 175. When you do the math, that's a 21.49% difference. Now watch this. If that commission was half right, listen to me. If it was half right, we could charge a homeowner single digits, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They would still net more money in their pocket. But wait, this is my favorite one. I use this one all the time. Because the guy who wrote the book on how to be a FSBO, Colby Sembrano, he created this website, forsalebybowner.com. And if you go to the site, now I didn't go to it today, so I don't know if they changed it, but they had this slider where you slide it and say, listen, if you sell your house for, $2 million, you're going to save $100,000 in commission, right? So I love this. Watch this. So if you sell your house for $2 million, you can save $100,000. Why would you pay $100,000? Don't pay $100,000 to an agent. Listed here. Okay. So the guy that created that, Colby Sembrano, he's read this for the Wall Street Journal. Colby Sembrano tried selling his 2,000 square foot condominium on his own through classified ads and FSBO. But after 6 months, do you see that? 6 months, he hired a real estate broker. Now listen, I can stop right there. Come on now. The FSBO king, the guy that wrote the book on how to be a FSBO, the guy that created a website, the guy that made all this money off of FSBOs where he can afford a $2 million condominium in New York City, he couldn't even sell his own house as a FSBO. But wait, there's more. It goes on to say, after trying to do it on his own, he lists with the agent, he gets multiple offers, and he closes for $150,000 over his FSBO price. And get this, he pays $129,000 in commission. Now let's go back to his site. For the same price, he's saying, why would you pay $100,000 in commissions to an agent? But meanwhile, he paid $129,000. Come on, that alone right there should show a homeowner, maybe being a FSBO is not a good idea. Maybe paying the commission, you're going to net more money in your pocket. Like Colby Sembrano, he netted after commission an extra $150,000. But wait, there's more. So now, this guy, Buyowner.com. This is another one. Okay, here's another FSBO expert. First of all, what I love about this one, Buyowner.com is saying, don't list with an agent. Don't work with realtors. List here. But meanwhile, what's on his site? Bada bing. Hey, we use realtor.com. The Buyowner guy is saying, we use realtors.com. This guy, he's got a property in St. Petersburg Beach. And Buyowner.com, he hires a realtor. Come on now. Come on. What is going on here? Benatti, nice Irish guy. Benatti. I'm Italian. I can make Italian jokes. Benatti, he listed his estate in St. Petersburg for $3.7 million to a co-banker agent. Mr. and Mrs. Hana, if these FISBO inventors, business owners, are not being FISBOs, and they're listed with an agent, maybe there's a reason. Maybe realtors is the way to go, because that's the way how they went. Okay, publish proof. Come on. See, listen, do you see what I'm doing here? What I'm doing is you validate realtor before. Did I tell you how much? I mean, we're not really role playing, but you would do all this before you convey how much you charge. You want to nail down, you want to hit down FISBO, bad idea. Bad. Now, let me tell you what I charge. This is how you handle commission objections. You handle it before it becomes a commission objection. Number 3, third-party negotiating. In show business, there's the number one rule, which is the talent never talks to the money. This is why talents have agents. See, an agent can be tough, can fight for the talent, and still make the deal work. Anybody that's familiar with Charlie Sheen when he was on 2.5 Men. Now, of course, Charlie Sheen had other personal issues, but that's not what cost him his job over at 2.5 Men. He literally was calling out Chuck Lorre, the producer, talking about negotiate. He was actually talking about the negotiations on talk shows and television. It was horrible. So eventually Chuck Lorre, the producer, the money, said, fine, you're out. Ashton Kutcher's in. So the point here is you tell a homeowner, Mr. and Ms. Hana, when you talk to a buyer as the homeowner, you're at a disadvantage. See, even if you think about it, even attorneys who are attorneys, if they have legal challenges, even they don't represent themselves. They hire somebody to represent them. Why? Because what's that expression? When you hire yourself as an attorney, you have a fool for a client because you're too emotionally attached. My job, you see, when you're in the picture, you can't see the frame, right? My job is to look outside of the situation, to coach you, and I can be tough with the buyer and fight for you, you see. I'll give you an example. Let's actually not just talk about it. Let's actually do an experiment to see what I mean. If I were to ask you to connect these 9 dots, gang, I want you to do it with me mentally, or put your finger on the screen if you want. If I ask you to connect these 9 dots with 4 straight lines, but here's the thing, once you put your finger on the screen, you can't pick it up. If I ask you to do that, right, connect the 4, there's a good chance, because it happens almost all the time, that you can't do it. And the reason why is because you're trying to stay within a box. In order to connect the 9 dots, you literally have to go outside of the box in order to do it. So Mr. and Mrs. Hana, as your realtor, my job is to look outside of what you know, to see the things you don't see, to look outside of the box in marketing and negotiation to help you. This is why most homeowners hire an agent and why most homeowners net more money. So third-party negotiating. We have more resources. I already talked about the whole fishing concept and how we don't use a fishing net. We use a trawler. But here's something else, too, about having more resources. If you look at a Broadway show, producing a Broadway show, who's involved in putting that together? You've got the actors, the lighting design, set design, costume. You've got all these departments. In all these different departments, they talk to one person every day in rehearsal. Every day, the same person everybody talks to is the director. The director is the glue that keeps the show together. You can't put a Broadway show together without a director. I mean, you could, but the end result will be a bomb. It'll close the next day. Well, a lot of homeowners, FISBOs, don't realize, Mr. and Mrs. Hana, in a real estate transaction, you've got the same thing. You've got all these people involved. You've got you, and of course, you've got the buyers, and then you have the appraiser and the engineer. You said you have an attorney that's going to help you, and that's why you don't need an agent. So let's pretend that the buyer has an attorney, so everybody's lawyered up. It's all wonderful, right? You've also, by the way, got the title company, the home inspector, and oh my goodness, the bank rep, because that's where the money, that's where it really makes the difference. Now, what's really interesting, Mr. and Ms. Hanna, you as the homeowner selling as a first-time owner, you would only talk to your attorney and to your buyers. You would never talk to the buyer's attorney. You would never talk to the appraiser. You would never talk to the home inspector, and of course not the bank rep. Now, your attorney that's going to do this for you, well, they only talk to the other attorney and to you. They don't talk to the buyers, your attorney. They don't talk to the bank rep. You've got all these people not talking to one another. And the scary thing is any one of them has the power to kill the transaction. There's only one person that everybody talks to in a real estate transaction, and that's me, the real estate professional. You trying to sell a house without an agent is like trying to put a Broadway show together without a director. It's going to bomb. Listen, if selling a house was as simple as finding a buyer and putting it into contract, you wouldn't have to be licensed to help other people do this. So there's got to be more behind the curtains you're not aware of that goes into producing this end result. Yes, if you decide to become a power agent, there is you're going to get the whole listing appointment that goes through this, along with the dialogue and the slides. That gets emailed to you today, by the way. All right, let's talk about discount broker. When they say I have a discount broker, they're going to do it for less. You know, why should I hire you? Well, Mr. and Mrs. Hanna, here's what I can tell you is it's using the tools of real estate. It depends on how you use the tool. So if you were to hire a discount just to get on MLS, MLS is a tool. Like, let's pretend that this is a hammer, and I say, let's say you decide that you're going to go build an extension and you're not going to sell. So you go to Home Depot and you get a hammer, and it's an expensive hammer. It's a beautiful hammer. And you come home and you take this expensive hammer and you put it on the kitchen table. My question is the hammer going to jump off the table and build you an extension? Of course not, because the hammer is just a tool. The tool in of itself does not do the job. You have to use the tool. See, this discount broker that charges so you can get on MLS is just a tool, but it has to be used a particular way. My company, we wrote the book on how to sell a house in today's market. We know how to use the tool called MLS, Open House, Brokers on My Public, to get your house sold. John Ruskin, a very famous philosopher and attorney and an author, he said, when you pay too much, you lose a little money. That's it. But when you pay too little, the thing that you actually, you lose everything, because the thing that you bought was incapable to do the thing that you bought that was supposed to do. My point is, for you trying to save money in hiring, it's an oxymoron to say, I'm going to pay less and get a professional. It's an oxymoron to say, I'm going to pay less and get a professional. See, let's pretend if you were you wanted to have some LASIK surgery done, if as an example, well, you know, you're going to look for the best skilled and the best, and if you can really afford it, you would hire the best of the best. I would not hire the cheapest. As a matter of fact, here's one saying it's only $499. Would you hire somebody promoting they're only going to charge $500? Would you give them your eyes? Would you put a laser in their hand and say, fix my eyes? Here, wait. Oh, this one's $299. My favorite, hey, we'll give you for $500, we'll give you a free tank of gas. You know what these people are not advertising, Mr. and Mrs. Hanna? They're not advertising they're the best skilled, the best trained, the best results. They're just advertising the cheapest. You want to be careful when you look for the cheapest, because you get what you pay for. John Ruskin also said, he said, there is hardly anything in the world that someone can't make a little worse, and sell a little cheaper. And people who consider price alone are this man's lawful prey. In other words, the buyowner.com, the forsalebuyowner.com, they're advertising, looking for the prey of people who shop by price alone, not on skill or ability. See, let me show you the difference between you get what you pay for. Here's an example, Wolf and Shepherd shoe. And Salvatore Ferragamo. If you look at these two pictures, the shoes don't look too much different, but there is a big difference, not just in price. The Wolf shoe is $170, the Ferragamo $1,500. Big difference in the price, but that's not where it really shows. See, it's in the quality. You see, with the Wolf shoe, it's a good shoe, but you've got to replace it after a year. Whereas with the Ferragamo, they last for a lifetime if you take care of it. So if you actually do the math over time, the Ferragamo shoe is actually less expensive because you get what you pay for, you see. Kmart, you know what they do? When they can't sell something because the product's not good, people don't want it, they throw it in a basket or a bin. They throw a light around it. Blue light special, it's cheap. That's when you look at discount brokers, that's what they're advertising, blue light special. Once again, John Ruskin said the common law of business practices prohibits paying a little and getting a lot. It can't be done. You can't pay a little and get a lot. It can't be done. See, if you wanted some meat, you could go get me one of two ways. You can go to a nice steakhouse or you can go to a fast food. It's both meat. But you're going to get what you pay for is the point. Here, let me give you one other example of this. Let's say Mr. and Mrs. Hanahana, you are going to fly from coach to first class. New York to California. You go either coach or first class. Well, there's a difference in the experience for sure. You know, you can go coach and save money, or you can go first class. But what if I told you that if you can't get first class and pay coach prices? The experience is different. Here's an example. There is a company called Skyrider. They are promoting these new seats. They're promoting new seats for coach. Now watch this. They're telling the airlines, because the seats are really not seats, like you're kind of standing up, you're kind of lifting up there, right? You can actually get more rows, which means more people, and so you can be more profitable. This is what they're telling the airlines. You know what they're telling the airlines to tell the customers? For the ones that they're trying to sell this to, say, you tell them, listen, you're still getting great service. Don't worry. You're still getting the same. You hear what I'm saying? You're still getting the same. Don't worry. It's great. Yeah. This was at the trade show of a woman trying the seats out over here. What's my point? The point is you get what you pay for, Mr. and Mrs. Hanahana. Do not be fooled by what people are advertising. By the way, my favorite part of this visual is the salesman for the company. Do you see him in the back there? Look at his face. He's like, oh my gosh, I got, he's saying, I better put my resume out. I got to switch company. I ain't going to make a living with this thing over here. So here's my question, Mr. Hanahana. Do you want to fly coach or do you want to fly first class? Because with Power Realtor, you're going to fly first class. We're going to do a job for you. We're going to get you from point A to point B in your life, and it's going to be smooth. It's going to be enjoyable, and because of it, you're going to net more money. Hey, listen, are you guys learning anything? Do me a favor. Write it. I still got some more to teach you. We're not done, but do me a favor. Write in what's your favorite thing that you learned as we're coming to the end here. I got some more to give you, but is there anything that you absolutely love? Let me see those as you're writing. What's your favorite part that you've learned so far? Okay, here's the other thing. And keep an eye on the chat and see these things come in. There's 3 ways to travel, Mr. and Ms. If you're going to go from New York to California, for example, you can either fly, you can take a train. Tiffany said, oh, here we go. They're coming in. Let me see this. Tiffany said, oh my God, this is so great. Thank you, Tiffany. What else do we have here? Fierce competition here in Phoenix. Okay, that's a question. Yeah, tell me what you guys are learning. What was your favorite part? Sheila, you loving it? Very great. Thank you so much. What else do you like? What have you learned so far? Let me see. Oh, now they're coming in. Analogies for FSBOs and expireds. Very great. Mary, but new analogy about flying coach to first class. Isn't that good? I knew you would love that, Mary. Okay. Loving the way, let's see, they're coming in too fast. Love this so much. I love for sale by owner and the by owner, right? Come on now. Great class. Love the colorful and insightful presentation. Your sense of humor. Thank you, Neela. I'm not done yet. Eric Riley, thank you very much, buddy. I love that. Love the article about the FSBO. Yes. All right. Yeah, Julie, keep publishing those let me continue. I may go a couple of minutes over, but hang in there. We got the best is yet to come. So as I was saying, 3 ways to travel. You're flying from New York, or if you're going from New York to California, New York to Florida, you can fly it, you can train it, you can drive it. And any one of those, there's going to be less cost, more headache. The point here, what we're trying to convey is, Mr. and Mrs. Hunter, I want to get you from point A to point B in your life, flying first class, the quickest, the easiest, the most effective. This is what you get with Power Realty. And I'd be concerned about any agent who is willing to cut their money just to get your listing, because if they're willing to cut your money to get your listing, how quick are they going to be to give your money away when they're trying to negotiate with a buyer? To me, it's almost like an upfront apology when an agent is saying they're willing to cut their commission, because think about it. If 6% is a number, and I'm just using 6 as an example, gang, you can put 5, you can put 4, because I need to give a specific number to explain this to you. See, when something goes from 5 to 6, it is not a 1% cut. If you actually do the math, like 6, watch this. I'm going to help you with the math. If it's $100,000, 6% is how much? $6,000. 5% on 100 is what? $5,000. What's the difference? $1,000. $1,000 of $6,000 is 14%. Come on now. Did you hear what I just said? If let's say we need to market a property and to make a profit, because as agents we're in a profit, and if this is the number you come up with, another agent says they're going to do it for 1%, they're actually cutting their salary by 14%. Or if they go 2%, it's 29%. And if it's 3%, it's actually 43%. So to me, Mr. and Mrs. Hana, that buy agent is either taking that money that they're cutting away from their family that they need to support and put the kids through school, which I don't think they are. So they're going to cut that money from their marketing expenses, the marketing tools that you need to sell your house for the highest possible price. So to me, it's almost like they're apologizing at the listing appointment with you, saying, yeah, I'll take less because I'm going to do less for you. So I'm sorry. So I'm willing to take less. You get what you pay for. I can't say it so many other ways. One of the things you can also do, gang, is compare your tools and what you do to any agent. If a homeowner brings up a specific agent, put their name in it. So, for example, you can say, do they show you the code of ethics? Because in a listing appointment, every agent should have the code of ethics. And if a homeowner asks for it, we're supposed to show it to them. So Mr. Mazana asked that agent, do you have a copy of the code? If they don't, I'd be concerned. Do they do a professional floor sketch of your property and have that as being one of the photos in the MLS? Do they do a neighborhood open house, invite just the neighbors to help promote the house, because those are the best buyers when they know somebody in the neighborhood? So anyway, doing something like that. Here's another thing you can do is, what's the average time on the market for your company, right? If let's say the average marketing time for the realtor in your market, in your area, is 31 days. You know, what is it compared to the other company that you're competing with? So there's another idea. Here's a few other things I'm going to give you. One-line commission phrases. Bring us a buyer, we'll pay you a fee. You're paying to have a professional, licensed, trained agent work against you, Mr. and Mrs. Hana. See, when you say to a buyer, when you say to an agent, bring a buyer and I'll pay you, that agent is representing the buyer. Listen to that. The agent who's bringing the buyer, they represent the buyer, and you're paying that licensed agent to work against you because they're working for the buyer. Come on, that doesn't make sense. It's like going to court without an attorney, but you pay the person who's suing you their attorney fees to beat you. That's what that is. Will you cut the commission? Say, no. There's another, that's a one line. Thank you for asking. The other agent will take less. Well, if the other agent is so quick to give away their money to get your listing, how quick are they going to be to give your money just to make a sale? If I could do it for the same percentage as the other agent, would you then hire me? This is really great. When you ask a homeowner, if I can match the other agent's commission, would you then hire me? And if they say yes, do this. Why? Tell me why. Why would you hire me versus the other agent if the commissions were the same? And then they'll start to tell you, well, because Darryl, we trust you because you have better marketing. I can see that you really are committed. Like they'll list these things, and then here's how you respond to that. Well, isn't that why I'm worth that extra percent? So by them answering your question, they're actually validating your value. The commission is actually a marketing tool. The more you pay, the more showings you get, which means a higher sales price is one way to handle that. If selling a house is as simple as placing an ad in the paper, you wouldn't have to be licensed by the state to help other people do this. So there's got to be more to the process of selling your house. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to jump to the guest for a second. So we just went through all of this about handling objections, but I want to give a gift to the guests right now. And power agents, stay on the call, and because we're going to open up to coaching now, right? So right now I'm going to be asking questions, but first I want to give the gift to the guests. If you're a guest, I'm going to encourage you to become a power agent for $5 because you have complete access to everything. You get bonuses today. You cancel anytime. Let me just give you the Reader's Digest version of the Power Program really quick. And I'll do this in 90 seconds. And then we're going to open up questions. First of all, every Monday we have coaching calls. Those calls, we call them Power Hours, but we're changing the name. We changed it to Mindset Monday because these calls, we answer whatever questions come. It's like call in and you can talk to me. We can role play. Every Wednesday, we do these trainings. We record them. We put them in the Power Program website for webinars on demand, along with a closed Facebook group, which is incredible. The brainstorming and the sharing, we use the Facebook group as almost a training platform and brainstorming platform. It's not, it's not wasted with politics or any other stuff. People don't get twisted on it. We have a dedicated website, which I'll show you perhaps a little bit later. I'll show you some screenshots, though. When you go to the portal, the magic is in the classroom. When you click on classroom, everything that you need about real estate is there. If you need help with buyers or the listing appointment or prospecting, you need dialogue for prospecting. For example, if you need help with farming, you go to farming, there's literally hundreds of promotional pieces, checklists, marketing material that you can customize. Everything that we have that you would give to a civilian, you can customize it here. And it's easy. You don't have to learn a new software. We have a favorite feature where if you tag something that you really love, it goes in its separate folder just for you that's tied to your account because you have your own username, password, so it's your own personal experience. We use a similar technology as Google when it comes to the search. So if you type in the word FSBO, for example, on the site, everything FSBO related, the articles that I showed you on this call, the dialogue for prospecting, some door hanging, some training, it's all there for you. So that way you can really zero in. So here's what you're going to get, guests. If you decide to be a power agent, we're going to email you right away a listing appointment slide deck. So it's a PowerPoint slide deck that you can customize every period if you wanted to. It's 100 slides, along with a recording on how to deliver the listing appointment from start to finish. Powerful. I'm telling you, those two things alone, if you need help on the listing appointment, those two things alone are so worth it. And you get to keep it. By the way, this is part of the $5 trial that you get to keep if you decide not to continue in the program. There's the top 100 ideas on how to get listings today, along with if you're a new agent or an experienced agent, you need to restart your business. We put together a guide for you on how to do that, 29 pages, along with the top dialogues, top 12. How to call FSBOs, how to call expireds, how to call past clients, how to follow up after an open house. So we've got the best 12 dialogues that our power agents love, along with that, what I showed you earlier, the 184 things that you do to earn your commission, which is so relevant to what we were talking about today. Also, because we're going into open house season, we've got the checklist of how to run an open house. And we have a dedicated webinar that as well, along with the farming field guide on how to own your farm area. We love that. It's a great, incredible guide. Plus, you're going to get a copy of today's slides, a copy of this recording. If you need a CRM, we have that for you. You can try that for 30 days. And that's the value. But like I said, it's all for $5. So if you are a guest, you would just click on that little floating thing there and it'll bring you to it so you can grab it. Power agents, I would love your comments. Tell the guests, is this program worth it? Is the program worth it? Do you recommend it? So power agents, let them know. But we're going to open up to questions now. So, Julie, let's go to the questions. So this is coaching time. Now, by the way, the questions, you can ask one of two questions. You can ask questions about the Power Program if you want as a guest, or as a guest and Power Agents, you want to ask a question about what we covered today, dialogue, anything, let's do that. Okay. Let's go,
Fantastic. Julie. All right. Great. Deep breath. Georgianne says there's fierce competition here in Phoenix from investors waving large amounts of cash in homeowners' faces. How do you compete with that?
Yeah, that's an easy one. You'd say, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Hanahana, why do you think an investor wants to buy your property? How do you think investors make money? They make money to buy and then flip it. So in other words, they're not paying you top dollar because they're trying to make money on the back of your own property. Is it take a little longer for you to sell with me? Not too much. Listen, if it took us a few extra weeks for you to get your house sold and get you moved, but because of that, it put an extra 10, 20 grand into your pocket after my commission, I'll ask you this. Would you like an extra 10 grand if you just had to wait a few more weeks? Would that be okay with you? Would you like that? That's how I would handle that. Next question, Julie.
Darryl, you covered so many analogies today. How can I get the PDFs and the visuals that you use, like Ethan Allen versus eBay?
Okay, so let me show you. If you're a Power Agent, I'm assuming that came from a Power Agent. When you click on Classroom, then you'll see favorites, or is it Darryl's top picks? Sorry, Darryl's top picks. Apologize. When you go to that, you'll see it says in big red button, grab the slides from the latest training. That's where everything that my slide deck for today is right there for you. Okay. Now the guests, we're just going to email it to you. The reason why we email the slides and some of the stuff, because as a new Power Agent, there's so much. And so we want to welcome the new Power Agents with what we think is most urgent for them based on today's webinar. So, okay, next question.
Fantastic. Ethan Allen shoes. I'm taking my notes. I'll read over and over again so I can present this speech like it's mine. I want to be as convincing as you are, Darryl. So that's awesome. So on that note, when he talked about getting the example, Darryl goes through the entire listing conversation, like and does all of that role play. He's role playing with an agent as a FSBO. So it's very powerful.
Yes.
Pedro, how would you tackle some of the expenses in setting up a home for a successful listing, such as landscaping, cleaning, organizing, photos? Do we foot the bill after we get our desired commission?
Okay, so Pedro, that kind of stuff is like getting a property ready with landscaping, cleaning, organizing, all that stuff. That sounds above and beyond, right? So there are things that we do, like taking the photos, obviously uploading it to MLS, stuff like that. But if you're going to have, or if the property needs paint or landscaping, cleanup or something like that, the homeowner should pay for that. And they can either A, do that stuff themselves, or B, you can ask them to cut you a check in a certain amount up front. You could do that. We don't usually do that, but in other in other parts of the country that in the world, like in New Zealand, Australia, they ask homeowners to cut expense check up front. So for you to go above and beyond, I wouldn't do it. I would not lay it out of my pocket. I'll tell you that. That's a definite. So either the homeowner can do it, or if they want you to manage it, they need to give you some funds up front.
Excellent.
Next question.
Can I find those one-line commission phrases on the site? You'll find them in the slides, yes?
Yeah, they're in the slides. So just if you are a Power Agent and you're going to get today's slides, and here's the one-line phrases that we did, so you'll get those. Yep.
Darryl, where's the activity tracker that you showed in the beginning?
Well, the activity tracker, which is here, right? That is, first of all, again, Power Agents, it's in that link for the right here. Grab the slides. So if you grab the slides, everything that you guys saw today will be there. If you are a guest, you will you'll get it emailed. But I will tell you another way. Remember I said, so Power Agents, one of the best tools that is not utilized enough by power agents is our search tool. So if you type in the word tracker, I think that's the name for it, and it will search the website, and there it is. There's actually 2 trackers, one for negotiating offers, and there's the daily activity tracker. So power agents use that search thing, man. I'll give you an example. Again, if I type in the word FSBO, as I said earlier, here's a whole bunch of FSBO stuff. There's FSBO dialogue, FSBO letters, but then you'll see there's more pages. There's 4 pages of content specifically for FSBO, the FSBO dialogue, more FSBO letters. So use that search function, power agents. It's really kind of awesome. There is some of the training that we did for FSBOs, the top 10 prospecting scripts, et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
That's
Next
also
question.
where you can put in like the by owner articles. Where do you find the articles?
The articles. Let's type in the word article. Just think of, again, you're going to get those articles today, or it's in that tab for power agents under favorites. But when I type in article, there's the by owner article. There is the USA Today article. There's the Colby Sembrado article. And we did a couple of different versions of the article, like one's a PDF, one's a graphic. So those are your articles right there. Next question.
Exactly. And you can tuck that right into your listing conversation book. Yes.
Yep. You can print. Listen, everything can be printed out too, and you can use hard copies. You can do it as a mailing piece. You can download it to put in your PowerPoint if you want. So just so you all know, the Power program does not have a new software for you to learn. So any of the pieces that we have, we use Microsoft platform like PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, etc. And the reason why, because even if you're a Mac user, Mac users know this, you can use Microsoft things as well. Every computer has Microsoft on it. At least it should. And if it doesn't, well, then you have to have it. You have to have some platform, and that's the most easily used one, most available and stuff. So anyway, you don't have to learn new software is my point. Next question.
I love it. Mary says this program is wonderful and the best money you can spend on your business each month. You will use so much of it. I love it.
Thank you, Mary.
Future training, Darryl, I'd like if you can just go to the site real quick. This is for power agents as well as our new power agents. We've just added the calendar up in the top right. Look, it's live.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Listen, so here's what we added for you guys. So power agents, pay attention. Hang on. Let me go back. Power agents, hello, listen. So we launched this week for you. We made an announcement on the Monday coaching call, but Julie wants me to highlight it. When you're logged in, I'm obviously logged in as Sarah. I know I don't look like a Sarah. I'm logged in as our VP, Sarah. There's the dashboard. There's calendar. When you click on calendar, the calendar shows you the training classes that are coming up. And so, for example, this is today, Webinar Wednesday. Tomorrow, we have the Zoom link for you guys to get training on the website for the new power agents. So by the way, new power agents, sign up now, because tomorrow at 11, we do it every Thursday. We help you get value out of the website, walk you through it, and there's the link. Then there's the coaching call next Monday. You click on there. There's the information for the coaching call. There is the weekly webinars. Then now Talent Tuesday. I want to say something about Talent Tuesday. Talent Tuesday are exclusive power agent sessions on where we bring in a guest speaker or we'll bring in an expert on something. So next Tuesday, we're bringing in Michael LaFido to talk about how to increase your average sales price in 2002. Michael LaFido is a marketing luxury expert, and he's actually a power agent as well. And he's selling $1 million properties, Michael. So he's going to train just power agents. So guess you can't come to that. It's just for power agents. Anyway, so here's my point. When you click on this subscribe to calendar, what'll happen is it'll take the whole power calendar and put it into whatever calendar you use in your business. So if you use Google Calendar or you use Outlook Calendar, whatever, you can populate your calendar with the Power Program training. So this is something we just launched this week for you, power agents. Okay. Next question, Gina.
Fantastic. Berta, I see your question. I know you've got some tech challenges. Um, we're going to direct you and other people who might have challenges to the site and to the chat on the site. That is the best way to get the help that you need immediately. So when you go to the site.
Yeah, let me just show you the, I got to go full screen. So our chat is an incredible chat because what you do is if you click on this, I want to point something out. Do you all see where it says under 2 minutes? Let me tell you where that score is coming from. We use this company called Intercom. And Intercom is saying we respond to chats within 2 minutes. So all you have to do is, first of all, we have a help thing. You can search articles about your classroom billing, contact us, but forget that. Let's say you want to talk to a human being. So you click send a message and you say, help, I need help. I need more help. Okay. So, and then you hit that. Well, here's what happens. The entire company's computers, everybody's computer in my company, it goes ding dong. It's like ringing a doorbell. Now, based on the question you wrote, whoever is the best team member is the one that will take your question and say, hi, this is Gail. Hi, this is Shelly. Let me help you with that. Now, let me tell you, I am not a fan of chats, me personally, although our chat is awesome. So me personally, I like to talk on the phone because I'm a talker. So if you're like me, I'm going to give you a little tip. Is just say, hey, Shelly, can you please call me on the phone? And then you give me yourself, I give myself, and then she'll call you right away. Okay. So I don't want you to feel like you have to go to email hell or chat hell. You want to talk, give us your cell. Bada bing, we're going to call you right away.
Right. We keep our phone number on the site and everything. So we're always available.
Yeah, our site, our phone number is on the site. Where is it here? Yeah, it's right up there at the top. Yep, right there. Yep.
Tiffany says, so do you not believe in scripts? How do you structure the appointments?
Yeah, I don't believe in scripts. So what you're going to learn, who asked that question?
Tiffany.
Tiffany, what you're going to learn, obviously you're either a new power agent or you're not one yet. So for that $5, I'm going to encourage you to sign up because by the way, let's just keep something in mind about this $5 trial. I'll bet you that you're going to probably waste $5 between now and when you go to sleep tonight. You'll get a Starbucks somewhere. You'll pay like $5 should be not that should not pause. You should act on that because what you're going to get is everything that's on the screen. And for that, the agent that just asked that, you're going to get the listing appointment and you're going to get the recording of the listing appointment. And you will learn how to do a listing appointment without a memorized script. I'll tell you the answer right now, but you'll learn it in the thing. It's using metaphors and analogies. Do you remember, you see that? eBay and Ethan Allen? That's a metaphor analogy. Here's another one. Kelly Blue Book about how dealerships, they sell cars for more than private. My point is, there's the director's technique. Where's the director's technique? The lawyer technique was right over here. There's the fishing technique. Look, these are metaphors and analogies, and I bet you can go do those now. You could probably do the fishing technique on a listing appointment. And you don't have to memorize the script. That's the power of metaphors and analogies. And new power agents, listen to what I'm telling you. That's the gold, metaphors and analogies. In the program, Power Agents, we have over 60, 70 metaphors and analogies to talk about MLS, yard sign, lockbox. The other broker said they'll pay less. I want to give us a couple of weeks to try it on our own first, then we'll call you. When you get an objection, you handle it with a metaphor. When you're talking about your marketing, you explain that with a metaphor analogy. That's how you do your business. Okay.
We just had that Eric Riley in the Facebook group just shared how that was a game changer at his recent listing appointment, right? Was using the metaphors and analogies.
There you go.
It changes the game. All right. Ellen said, I would recommend Darryl's coaching program. There's always great ideas, something to use in your business to make you better. I love it. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you, Ellen.
Patricia says the program is so worth it. There's many different resources, but the best one is Darryl and his staff. They really care about you, and it shows with their encouragement and guidance. I was a power agent. but my life was so hectic I didn't have time to do the work. But I'm going to subscribe again and become a power agent. Main thing is to use the material every day. Do something and believe in yourself. Another thing Darryl does best is coach you to believe in yourself. That's right, Patricia. We're excited to have you back. That's so awesome. And you can use that chat too if you've got questions about coming back, if you were a former power agent. So that's a great place to do that. When Catherine says, when calling a FSBO that's been out there for more than 40 days and there's no sale listed, can you recommend verbiage to add to the cold call?
So, Catherine, I'm going to have to, when you say add to the cold call, I'm not sure what that means, right? Did you already talk to them? If you didn't already talk to them, then the dialogue that I teach, and which is in the bonuses today or on the website, should be the same. So you would still say, hey, I'm calling about the house for sale, still available. Hi, this is Darryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? The reason I was calling one of your worker brokers today, property, so you're trying to do it on your own. I'm just curious, is that because you want to save the brokerage fee? Let me ask you where you moved to, why there we need to get there by. Let me ask you if I had a buyer who's willing to pay your price, pay my commission. Could we work together? It is possible in case to do that, but first I need to see the house. Listen, you got nothing to lose and everything to gain. After all, you let complete strangers to the house. You don't know if they're going to afford the house for free. I'm licensed by the state of New York, so I'm the safest appointment you give, not to mention the fact that I could have potential buyers for your house. And letting me in is like letting 5 people in at the same time. I can come over at 6, or would 7 be better? So, Catherine, the dialogue, it doesn't matter if being on 40 days or 4 days. The dialogue that I teach is so effective. If you speak to 4 FSBOs, regardless of their scenario, you should schedule at least 2, but the batting average for me is 3 appointments for every 4 calls. Next question.
I love it. Paula says, whenever I ask anything via chat, I get a response and answer in minutes. This is really the best training available. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
She also wants to know where you get all your energy.
5-hour energy.
That's right.
5 and my power agent mug.
That's right. Power agent coffee, power agent energy.
That's right.
Patricia, do you have any video training available?
Yeah, that's So everything that we do is recorded. So let me just show you where it is. When you go to Classroom, and then you go down to webinars on demand, is actually our training. And these are all the top, everything that we record goes here. So last week with the 6 ways to generate a new listing, what happens when you click on it, it'll bring you to a page that has 2 things. Number 1 is the video training, which is, it looks just like this. It has me and a copy of the slides, and then, but you can download the slides so you can print it out and take your notes. So this becomes your training program. The farm air, this is all the stuff that we've had, that we like. There is over, I don't know, I'm not exaggerating, there's over 100 training modules for you. And here's how we work, right? So you want to go through, I want you to get access to what you need. Like some agents may need help with, the listing appointment. An agent may have a problem with, hey, I'm up against Zillow. People are saying, why don't I just work with Zillow? Why do I need an agent? So whatever you need, you have access to. But there is one other training program, and it's called our onboard training. And how that works right here. And I'm just going to take me off the screen so you can see the full thing. It goes through modules, 8 modules. This one is the foundation, make a plan, all about listings, lead gen, creating buyer loyalty, putting systems in place, cultivating your farm, etc. So what you do is, let's say you're starting with module 1, and it says, okay, download the calendar, head over to the Power Agent directory. And as you accomplish things, you give yourself a check mark, and then you get points. But there's also these links, right? So head over to the Power Agent directory. So when you click over to the directory, it actually brings you to the Power Agent directory. And then you update your directory. If I click at the top there, and this is where you can update all of your information. You can opt out of the directory, which, by the way, is a horrible idea. Don't do that, because we're seeing like 5 to 7 referrals a month. Like power agents are making a ton of money just from the directory, which was not our intention. Like that was just like, what we keep doing, those power agents that are on the call with us, you can chime in on what I'm about to say, is that we keep just adding material for you guys, or tools or techniques. Like, this is all we do. Like, my whole team, I do my 1-day live seminars, right? So we have that. Other than that, we just care about power agents. So we wake up, Julie, Sarah, my whole team, they wake up in the morning thinking about power agents, and then go to sleep at night thinking about power agents. So we come up with things like this calendar over here. We just added that this week. We got more stuff coming, by the way. So the directory was one of those things. Let's throw the directory so power agents can network. My gosh, the money people are making is crazy. So we're so happy about it. I'll show you the one. Here's an example of our first one there, of Aaron Gray. Here's the areas that he serves. So if you're looking for an agent in Philly, you may reach out to Aaron, because he's got all of his links over here, his phone number, his awards that he has, and he speaks 2 languages. He speaks English and real estate, which that's incredible. That's awesome. And his bio, he's got a granddaughter, although he spelled granddaughter wrong, but that's okay. I just noticed that. Oh, no, that's a play on words, isn't it? She's grand. I bet you that's what that means. See? Right, Julie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but the point is, going back to what I was saying, is that this training process, sorry, let me go back full screen. This training process shows you, it brings you to the things to do and implement, etc. The Facebook group, like here, if I go to the Facebook group, this is the Power Agent closed group. That's just, again, for power agents. This is our last recording that we did, and there's brainstorming and help. And this is from the live event that I did yesterday. Some power agents were there in Jersey. So anyway, that's it. Next question, Julie.
Awesome. Is there training on when and how to hire an assistant or build a team?
Yeah, good question. We don't have that now. I do have that training, and ironically enough, we do not have it on the website. I have how to hire an assistant, not how to build a team, but I do have an assistant training stuff that we've got to get on the site. So being that you asked that, I'll put that on the top of our list. So Julie, let's bring in a Talent Tuesday of somebody how to build a real estate team.
How to build a team. We'll do. And we actually
talked about that. So hang on a second. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to find for you power agents a talent. So we're going to do a dedicated training session by somebody who's developed a team to do a session for you. So they'll teach some stuff, and then you can ask them questions. So that's what we'll do. We'll create that for you. Next one.
I love it. Just answer this. New. Podessa says, I love this program. Darryl and his team are the best. All they do is win, 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 no matter what. I want to be on the winning team. That's why I continue with my subscription. Thank you, Podessa. That's very nice.
Thank you.
Susan says, guess spend the $5 will be the best money you ever spend, along with the constant new training and information Darryl gives us. He also keeps reinforcing again and again all the past training so that it sticks with us and we can present it to buyers and sellers so it comes across natural and not as a script. I'm a power agent for life. That's awesome, Susan. Thank you. Loretta said last week when I joined.
Wait a second.
Oh,
we have
that's right.
Yes, we have a. Listen, the other power agents that are on the call, don't tell the other ones, because it's going to be a surprise. We're sending something to all the power agents. Oop, I messed it up. I opened it up the wrong way. It's the power agent pin that you can use in your marketing, your power logo, but put it on your power agent pin on your thing. And explain, and we're going to give you dialogue how to explain being a power agent on a listing appointment to help you get more listings. Anyway, that's coming probably in before the month is over. So, all right, next question.
Watch your mail, power agents. I'm so excited. Yep. Joe says, thank you. Mary says, Darryl, and Julie are the best. Thanks. You're welcome. Let's see here. Can power agents post your slides on social media?
Yes. Oh, there's something else you guys are getting too. We're sending you a certificate that you can use in a listing appointment saying you're a power agent, because I want you to understand, power agents, that power agents is a registered trademark, and only in real estate we own that term. So if you see somebody using power agent, they're not a power agent, let me know, and our attorneys contact them. We own this. As a matter of fact, just a PS, Premier Agent with Zillow, they first started, Premier Agent used to be called Power Agent. And we shut Zillow down. We own Power Agent for you to use in your marketing, and there's a reason for that. Okay, so because less than 1% can call themselves a power agent, so that elevates you in the listing appointment. Now, I'm sorry, Julie, I interrupted that question. What was your question?
No, that's okay. Can you post the slides on social media? Some of those probably wouldn't be appropriate for social media, but we do have a whole tab, Ellen, that's filled with social media tools that you can customize and put your own information on. It just there's a whole tab committed to social media.
Yeah, so we have, let me go to social media. So if I go, I'm going to show you guys something else. If you're a power agent that was on the recent call, you might have seen this. So first of all, let me do social media. So if you search social media, you'll find all the social media graphics that we created that you can use to post. Okay, you see it's 19 pages. 19 pages is a lot. But let me show you something else. This is May right now. Let's say you wanted to figure out stuff that you wanted to send out coming up in April.
Or June.
April, May. I'm sorry, June. April passed. Thank you, Julie, very much. I had a little time warp. So if I type in June, there's all this. There's a Father's Day social media thing. Some cats. We love cats here at Power Headquarters. So there's a bunch of Father's Day, obviously, Flag Day. So there's a calendar. That's the newsletter, right? So we have newsletters for you guys as well. But let me go back to May and show you what we had for May, because in May, we have a calendar, several calendars. One is we create this calendar to help you figure out, like, if you were thinking of what could you do to promote your business or work on your business in the month of May. Every month, we create a calendar for you that gives you tips for each day of the month. So if you're ever trying to figure out what you want to do, it's still loading. We've got you covered. So, all right, while that's loading, let me just show you something else. We actually create weekly calendars for you as well, where you can print this out and say, okay, what are the top 3 things I'm going to focus on this week? What are some of the power tools that I may implement? What's my gratitude list? So we have this weekly calendar as well that you can print out to help you stay focused on your business. Here is the month of May that I was just talking about, that to give you tips every day. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you? I think that's it. I know there's something else I want to say, but I can't remember. Okay, next question, Julie.
Put those smile stops up every month as well. So those are great little ways to stop in on your past clients and make an impression. And yeah, I love our power agents share that in their Facebook group all the time, pictures of them with their clients doing that. So that's so much fun.
Yeah, Smile Stop is a door knock, but we call them Smile Stops because there's an acronym for smile, that you're doing it face to face, and it's about servicing and XR. Anyway, so these are ideas that you can brand your logo or information. I remember what I was going to say. So let's say it's sunscreen day, May 27th, and you stop by some of your past clients, bring a bottle of sunscreen and a note saying, here's to help you always be protected in your real estate decisions, right? So that's so creative. Good job, Julie. And so there's fun stuff like that. So we're all about Smile Stops because it's fun for you. It's fun for your clients. The other thing I wanted to point out, especially if you're a new power agent, is we added the Power Agent Print Portal. So now, if you want to do mailing campaigns, marketing pieces printed and put stuffed in people's mailboxes, we have an online print portal for you. And it is the bomb. Power agents are telling us, man, the quality is incredible. It gets out right away. It's getting in people's mailboxes. You can download a mailing list for free, which you will not find anywhere else. So if you need a mailing list of a farm area, we got you covered. All right, next question,
And that's
Julie.
part of Loretta's question is how to help getting a list from my area. Yesterday, we did a deep dive with Gary from Express Copy, who is our vendor partner for the Power of Print portal. And it was just phenomenal because people are like, oh, what do I do if I need a specialty list? In other words, I'm marketing to a condo or an apartment building, or I can't find a list for the neighborhood that I want to farm. He's like, no problem. Let us know. You can draw. There's like 6 different ways to build your list. You can do by zip code. You can do by, radius search. You can do by, draw a polygon. So it's just, there's so many different ways. And his team totally is down for helping you get anything that you want. Make sure that it gets in the hands
Hang
of
on a
people.
second, Julie. Loretta, let me show you something. Loretta, listen to me. Loretta, watch this. Stay with me. Let me go here. So Loretta, go into the classroom of the Power Program website. Find this Facebook link. So I'm in Classroom, Loretta. Click on Facebook. It'll bring you to the Facebook page. When you get to the Facebook page, now every day it's gonna keep scrolling down. But here, do you see this, Julie? It says guess with Gary. It's Gary, believe it or not. Gary from Express Copy. This is our print portal company. And so it's called Express Copy. We negotiated the best price you can ever get. You can't get a better price even if you went directly to Express Copy, you will not get a better price. So we negotiated a best price for you. And this tutorial went through it, Loretta, how to use the print portal, okay? And the mailing list, the whole 9 yards. So you are so covered, Loretta. Go watch yesterday's training session on Facebook. Next question.
Absolutely. And you talked about last week, you did, or week before, you did a lot of mailing pieces. So most of our mailing pieces, Loretta, are in the farming tab. So you did go through a lot when you did the direct mail webinar, Darryl.
Okay, so let me show
So
that.
that would be in most of them are in the farming tab. So the mailing, like the newsletters are there. The Zillow postcard is there.
Yeah, this is all farming stuff, the e-guides and
flyers, letters.
There's so much. There's so much great content. Let me tell you something, just for the new power agents, whether you're about to join, you just joined today, or you joined like a few weeks ago. This is more than just a training program. It's your resource. The analogy I've been using, you're welcome, Susan. The analogy I've been using lately is like a painter. Like if you were going to paint a painting and you have this canvas, right? And the canvas is blank. You want to paint a house or whatever. So you know what the vision is, right? Well, now you're going to go to your palette and start picking your colors to paint and produce your end result. The canvas is your next level. The Power Program is your palette. So you don't have to use everything we have. There's 600 forms, flyers, and checklists. You can't use it all. So you go to your palette and you say, you know what do I need? What do I want to use? Like, so for example, some of you want to do newsletters. Some of you don't. Those you want to use newsletters, we wrote them for you. There they are. It's on the screen right now. And the thing about these newsletters, by the way, when you open it, because of the platform I told you we're using, let me open up June. Where's June? Here's June. So the platform, because we use this PowerPoint, I want to show you something. It's going to take a minute for it to load because it's a big file, because we use the highest quality images. So when it gets printed, it prints sharp and clean and powerful, right? So there it is. It's downloaded. Let me open it up now. So this is June's newsletter. And what I want you to see is that it has multiple purposes. So that's the front. There's the back. Let's say you wanted to post an article on your Facebook page about preparing for the summer. Wait, you can take this. Look what I can do. Son of a gun. You can copy it, paste it into social media. Wait, there's more. And let's say you don't like number 8. You don't like that one? Watch what happens. Bada bing, I just deleted it. Let's say you don't like that we said ensure. You want to say make sure. All right, then edit that. My point is you can edit down to the period. But wait, there's still more. You can actually use this in your emails. You can post this in your emails. You can take an image of this and just create it as an infographic. There are so many things that you can do with just this one newsletter. I can Oh, here's one other thing. Hang on a second. I love this. Let's say you want to start doing video on social media. Power agents, pay attention because I haven't told you this. Let's say you wanted to start doing regular videos. Open up a newsletter. Do a video on, hey, the 8 tips. There was 8. I deleted number 8. Here's the 7 tips on how to promote and prepare for the summer. And there's your script. These newsletters. Here, wait a second. I got a second video for you in the same one. How to care for your wood deck. There you go. Here's the top 3 things. And tune in tomorrow. I'm going to give you 3 more. So I just took one flyer and I create a mailing piece from it. I created a social media piece. I can create a blog article. I can create a video. Come on now.
Oh, I just got a prices from Gary from our print portal. You can send 100 newsletters for $138. So a little over $1 a piece. They're folded. They're put in envelopes. They're addressed for you. And Gary and his team will even, like any of those letters, any of that, if you've got a list and you need to mail merge because it's got, the name and the address or whatever, they'll do all that for you too. And that's just for power agents. They will do all of that heavy lifting for you. It's like having, and it just goes straight through your print portal. You pay 25% less than retail. And they're going to do, who does that, right? They're going to do all of it for you.
Julie's all excited about the print portal for you guys because Julie's original background, I won't say what company she worked for, but she worked for another real estate printing house, a big name. And they don't provide the customer service that we're doing for you guys. Like they'll actually do work for you. Like when you upload an image to send out, before it gets sent out, there's a human being that looks at your order and make sure that it's lined up correctly, that there isn't a problem. They'll call you. By the way, if you wanted to share your printing costs with a vendor, like a mortgage company or something, and they're going to pay half and you're going to pay half, you can actually split the order online. You punch in watch this. You put your credit card in to order and pay for half of it. And you tell them the name and phone number of the lender who's going to pay the other half. And they'll call the lender for you if you want them to. So I'm telling you, this is good stuff. All right.
And the seller's guide, he actually just told me too, the seller's guide, which is beautiful 20-page guide that looks professional. It looks like a magazine that you wrote, is $5 for you to have that printed, to have at your open houses, to have on a listing appointment. All right,
Julie, let's go to the questions. We can, you and I could talk 5 hours about the power program.
Berta does ask, can you get the list for free if you're not ordering a paid service? So no, you'll need to get the list with an order. So if you're ordering newsletters or something like that, they're going to give you the list for free. Loretta says, thanks so much. You are so appreciated. It helps me stay motivated. I followed your steps, as you said, and I'll jump right in. Keep up all of this for all of us. We can never have too much information. Thank you, Loretta.
Right, you're welcome.
Patricia says, the monthly and weekly calendar keeps me on track and lets me know every day that I have an opportunity to win. What a neat way to say that, Patricia. I love it. Awesome. What time are the coaching calls, Darryl?
So the coaching calls on Monday are 11 o'clock Eastern time, and they go more than an hour because I said it earlier. I'll say it again. The commitment that I have is that when you call in Monday, I make sure every power agent's question is answered. And once everybody's answered, then we end the call. So they usually run about, oh boy, I hear myself all of a sudden, Julie.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself somehow. All right. But let's see. What was I going to say?
You can ask your question in advance.
Coaching call. Yes. Yeah. Sarah hears the echo too. Thanks, Sarah. Good job. So the coaching calls are actually recorded as well. So if you can't be on the call and you want to email your question in advance, I'll read your question. I'll coach you through the call. and then we post it here, and you can listen to my answer later. And you can email the question in advance by clicking this red button here. It will launch this page. You can say, here's my question for the coaching call. And then I get a list of those, and I start off the coaching calls with those first.
Awesome.
Okay.
And there's a couple different ways to get on that coaching call. So you can call in, you can watch it live stream on Facebook if you're more of a visual person, or you can tap into the Zoom.
Cool.
Perfect. I think we're kind of.
All right. So listen, we're going to end the calls now. So here's what we're going to do is there's a little floating thing on the screen. So if you're a guest, make sure you click on that, because as soon as we shut down this webinar, that click goes away. And I will tell you one other thing. We are changing. We've been offering this special for a while. We're going to be changing it. So this is your last chance to get this trial. Sarah, is it still 30 days? Did I say? I did say 30, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, we're changing it. It's not going to be 30 days anymore. I'm not sure if that's happening today or tomorrow but we're changing that. Some of the bonuses we're changing. So this is the best time for you to sign up, because it's going to be less moving forward the trial. So don't miss out. Don't miss out. Click on the thing, $5. Trust me. You know what I'll do? I'll guarantee the $5. If you're not happy, tell me. I'll give you back your $5, and you can still keep everything I send you. How's that? We just recorded that. So there you go. That's just for this group, Julie.
It's on record.
It's on record. If you're worried about the $5, because I don't want you to miss out. So because when we change it, you can be like, I thought it was 30 days, and why is it only a week? And now, all right. So I'm giving you a last shot here. Sign up now, and if you're still not happy, I'll refund you $5, and you can keep the bonuses. Okay. All right. Stay safe, everybody. I look forward to working with you. Have a wonderful day. Wonderful rest of the week. And don't forget to keep smiling. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.